Welcome to The Guys Review, where we review media, products, and experiences. Again, it's quiet, and I appreciate that.
Well, Trey's not here, so I'm not gonna...
You're not going to try to steal his thunder?
I mean, it's just you and me, so it's not like there's a whole lot I can do.
I know, right? It's just us today. My name is Steven. I'm one of your other co-hosts. Together with me today, we have Tucker. Say hello, Tucker.
What's going on, guys?
Tucker!
If I'm not going to channel Trey, you can't channel Chris.
Oh, okay. I guess I won't do that. We're not going to talk about jiu-jitsu.
Fucking hate you. When are you moving again?
Oh, man. Well, so today, in honor of the 4th of July and America, in honor of America's birthday, we're going to be doing National Treasure. I figure that's a pretty homegrown, kind of American-y movie.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's all about the founding fathers and
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, so it's a cool film.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I hope I didn't screw this up. I just accidentally hit stop and had to start recording again, so hopefully this will all mesh together pretty well.
Guess we'll find out tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yeah, I'll probably find out tonight. But before we get into the movie, I guess we'll talk a little bit about our week, and got some fan mail and from Marcus. So, Tucker, how was your week, bud?
Man, it was a busy week at work, as always. Good friend of mine at the office retired, and we went to his retirement party Friday night, and I drank a little too much. And, so you give me shit for smoking, and I know it's bad, but I do like cigars, and I like
fair.
Cigarettes too, but I never smoke more than one cigar in a night. I don't, just because that's a shitload of nicotine.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, but because it's his retirement party, and because he bought I don't know, 60 cigars for all the people that showed up.
Seriously?
Plus, yeah, it was like six.
Shit.
Yeah, that was and not everybody's going to smoke a cigar,
right? Yeah.
So I felt that it was my duty to make sure he didn't go home with any cigars. So I smoked 2 of them, and I felt like run over asshole on Saturday. So all the beers on top of 2 cigars, And here's the worst part.
It makes my stomach turn just thinking about it.
I was a little drunk when we came home.
Just a little? Yeah, I know.
Little drunk, yeah. And it was one of those nights where you just go lay down. Mm-hmm. You don't drink anything. You don't brush. You don't do any of the stuff that you normally do.
Should do.
Right. So when I woke up Saturday morning, I felt like I had licked a fucking ashtray.
Oh, God. Yeah, I do not miss that.
I could not wait to get up and just brush my teeth, drink some Gatorade, do something that was not.
When I did smoke, that was one of those things that no matter how much I drank, no matter what, I would always at least wash my hands, because the worst thing for me was waking up and have my hand on my face and the nicotine fingers. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was so gross. I could not stand that. I do not miss that. I don't. Yeah. Ugh. I just can't. Ugh.
Yeah. And I didn't even drink on the boat yesterday.
No,
I tried drinking one beer and I was like, fuck this.
Did you last night?
No.
Did you really not?
Sat on the couch and watched, I started watching the Scream TV series.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
First couple episodes are slow, but it's growing on me.
I watched the second half of Stranger Things last night. You hadn't started on that yet, have you?
No, it's on my list, and then I found Scream.
God, you got to get on this.
I know.
You got to do Stranger Things. And this is so. Well, I'll say this: the ending was okay. Chris and I kind of talked about this a little bit. I'm not exactly thrilled how they ended this one, but it was still a really, really solid season, and so I'm looking forward. Next season, season 5 is the last season, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll probably be 2 years before it comes out, unfortunately. So.
Oh shit.
Let's see. But yeah, my week's been pretty good. We went to the lake yesterday, had a lot of fun there. We got 4th of July on Monday when you listen to this. So happy birthday, America.
And Jeff, I'm smoking 2 Boston Butts tomorrow, so I will get up and put a picture in the Twitter group at about 3 a.m.
Oh, great. So we'll be looking forward to terrible barbecue.
Who the fuck said you were getting any?
That's fair. I guess the other news I'll go ahead and share, and you kind of alluded to this a little bit, and by the time, I don't think anyone in my office listens to this. I talked to my boss about this, and she told me not to say anything until Tuesday. But I have gotten a job offer for a company in Asheville, North Carolina, and you're right there.
Yeah.
It's just burning off.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will be moving, probably in the next 3 or so weeks. I still plan on doing the podcast, so I'm just gonna have to zoom in. But it's a huge opportunity for me, and it's moving my career in the direction that I want to go. And are you all right there? You need some help?
Yeah, no, I don't have the wattage set high enough.
Oh, okay.
It's the oil's popping.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's a big change. It's a big move, and yeah. So that's everyone else actually here already knew about that, but I just didn't want to say anything yet until everything gotten officially done and through HR and all that stuff. And I was going to tell my office on Friday, but my boss wanted me to wait. Is it burning?
Yeah, it's. I think the coal's fucked up. It's the oil's popping.
Yeah.
The juice is popping, so it's.
Okay.
I'll fuck with it later.
But anyways, yeah, I told my boss last week. She told me to wait until she'll be in the office on Tuesday, so we're gonna wait and talk about it Tuesday. And very supportive, so that's all you can really ask for. But
it's not like she has a choice.
That's true.
I mean,
well, I was afraid she's gonna get mad because, like I said a couple of weeks ago, her brother, my boss, passed away. And this was already kind of in the works. There were some things that happened, a couple months ago that kind of put the gears in motion. And then when he passed away, it's just like, oh, crap. But, it's just one of those things. And she's actually, I'm moving into commercial property management. She's in commercial property management. So she's like, I don't know how you did residential for so long anyways. So, but that's it. That's the big news. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. We're excited. I mean, I don't want to move, but this is a step in a career that I want to make, and it's just unfortunately not going to happen in a small town like Auburn. I got to go to a bigger city. So, yeah. But we still have family here, and we still have friends here, and we're going to come back and visit, and hopefully y'all will come up north, maybe come visit us when it's nice and snowy.
No, fuck snow, fuck cold weather.
You're such a baby. So, all right.
You're the one that wouldn't move to Florida.
That's true. It's too damn hot. Fan mail.
Oh, I'm not going to miss that.
No, I'll still do it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. All right. Marcus sent us an email. The title of this email is Vacay. Hello, fuckers. So I'm responding on what you on what you, Stephen, talked about in the last episode. We get mandatory paid vacation. We must have a minimum of 2 weeks vacation. If I should show up and start to work on my vacation, I will be asked to leave. Haha, I know, but that's how my great socialism works. Some other news: on the 1st of August, my vacation starts, and I get my own place.
His own place.
Yeah, it says I've kind of had it with her I'm living with. I don't know.
He left his girlfriend?
I guess so. Sounds like they broke up. She talks too much of showers and ovens. It has something to do with her ancestry. She's Polish.
Jesus.
So now I can finally save up some money to buy me a ticket to come and visit you guys.
Can't
and
he
explore,
just go stick his finger in the dike and be done with things?
and explore capitalist America. Then I'll dress up in the most redneck outfit I can find and change my name to Billy Bob or Joe Bob or Robert E. Lee, maybe.
Change it to Booker T. Washington there, sir.
Should you rather... I think this might be... Okay, here. Oh, gross. Would you rather get an oily back rub from Joe... I think it's supposed to be Joe Biden. He spelled it Bilden. From an oily back rub from Joe Biden, or eat corpse maggots from a 2-month-old hooker? Ooh.
That's a coin toss.
Oh. I think I'm going to have to go back rub.
He might sniff you too, though.
He might, but maggots?
Yeah, as much as I hate it, I think the back rub is
the
way to go.
The back rub is the way to go on this one. All right. Would you rather get a text from a one-night stand that says, I'm pregnant, or I have an incurable STD?
Oh, shit. I'll take the I'm pregnant.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because there's not very many incurable STDs.
Yeah, and they're not... and
the ones that are motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're not good. All right. Okay, would you rather chew your own toenails off or someone else's fingernails? That is disgusting.
Who says I've never done that?
Oh. Whose fingernails did you chew off?
Kidding. Or am I?
That's so fucking gross.
I'm chewing off my own toenails.
Yeah, I'm definitely going toenails on that one.
Did you ever watch? I know your uncle had something to do with Impractical Jokers. Did you ever watch any of that?
Oh, yeah, well, a little bit.
A little bit. That reminded me of one of the punishments that the guy had to do one time.
Really?
He had to get somebody in New York City to take their shoe off and let him put their toe in his mouth.
Oh, that is fucking gross.
Can you imagine if it's like a tourist that's been walking around all day and those fucking shoes their feet are sweaty?
Oh, that is disgusting.
Right?
All right, I got like 3 more.
Oh, Jesus.
Get diarrhea on vacation or on the day of a big presentation at work. Definitely vacation. I mean, you can get over diarrhea. You can take Imodium AD or some Pepto and it'll solidify.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you might lose a day, but...
Yeah. I mean,
But I don't want to shit myself like in the middle of a presentation.
I ever tell you about when I was on patrol?
Oh, fuck. That's never a good segue.
Right? It's not. So I had been taking antibiotics because of sinus infection.
Right.
And I don't remember what kind they were, but it was fucking with my stomach hardcore. So I was constantly running back and forth to the office to, drop trout.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten off of a traffic stop or something. I don't remember what it was. And I'm hauling ass back to the PD because it's a code brown.
Was it touching fabric?
Well, if it had been touching fabric, it would have gone through fabric.
Oh,
right?
God.
So as I'm on the way, I get dispatched to do a follow-up at a call that I'd been to earlier that day where a guy had his one of his business vehicles broken into. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, shit, I can't not go. It's on the way. I'll just swing in there real quick. I'll get the thumb drive with the video, and I'll go to the PD, and I'll put it in evidence and take care of business while I'm there. So I get it, and the guy wants to talk.
This is the one, the company that I used to work for, I told you a long time ago? Hold on. Hold on.
Time out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
think
one.
I've heard the story.
Yeah. So I go in there, guy wants to talk, I get the video, and like I'm clenching butt cheeks, crossing my legs, doing everything not to shit my pants.
Was it Chris? Do you remember?
I don't remember who it was.
Anyways.
But so he leaves, and I head out the door, and it hits me, and I am not making it back to the office. So I put the video put the thumb drive with the video in the car, and I go back inside, and I said, "Ma'am, do you mind if I use your restroom?" Didn't tell her what I was going to do to it.
Jesus Christ!
So I go in there, and dude, it was like a bomb went off.
Oh God! Oh, and that if I remember that bathroom, if they're still in the same place,
it's right by the receptionist desk.
Oh God, dude!
Yeah, dude, and there was no air spray in there. I turned the fan on, I shut the door, and I walked out there, and it was like doing a walk of shame. I had my head down, and I looked at her, and I was like, I am so sorry, and just walked out the door.
That is awesome. Oh, that is so good. I'm gonna turn that bit into a commercial this next week. I hadn't done that in a while. That's gonna end up being a 30-second commercial.
Yeah, it was bad.
Ooh. Okay, all right, here you go. Last few. Would you rather see your mom or your daughter at a strip club? Jesus. What the fuck? Neither.
I don't have a daughter, so I'm going that route.
Oh, that's not even... No. I don't even want to choose. What do you call 2 monkeys who share an Amazon account?
I'm scared.
Prime mates.
But
I know, right? I'm really excited for the amateur autopsy club I just joined. Tuesday is open mic night.
That's kind of funny.
That's pretty good.
I'll give you that one.
Trey should use this one, becomes coroner. Okay, here we go. Last one. I can't find my Gone in 60 Seconds DVD. It was here a minute ago. So stupid.
Jesus.
Thank you, Marcus, for your email. If you want to email me something terrible to read, feel free to do so by sending the email to theguysreviewpod@gmail.com. Or if you want to, as Tucker said earlier, join us in our Twitter DM group, you can find us at _guysreview. Like the tweet at the top of the page, and we'll throw you into the Twitter DM group. A lot of memes and little chit-chat going on there. So
just stupid stuff.
Mostly stupid stuff. Moving on into National Treasure, directed by John Turteltaub.
Yep.
Okay. Written by Jim Kampf, Carmack Wibberley, and Maureen Wibberley. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that. Starring Nicolas Cage, Diane Kruger, Justin Bartha, Sean Bean, and Jon Voight. Released on November 8th, 2004 on a budget of $100 million, which is $154.7 million today. Box office, $347.5 million, which is, $537.7 million in 2022.
So $500 million.
Yeah, today, yeah.
Nice.
It's not bad.
No.
Good return. Ratings. IMDb gives it a 6.9, and he wrote in here, look, I got to say, Marcus did the research for me on this one.
Thank you, Marcus.
So, yeah, thank you very much. And he wrote in there, you go 6.9 IMDb, and he wrote noise. I love it. Same. Sadly, the same sense of humor. It's like a fourth grader. Rotten Tomatoes is at 46%. Metacritic 39%. Google users.
I'm going to go high on this, even though it's just me here. I'm going to go high because I think a lot of people like this movie. I've never heard anybody say anything really overly critical about it. So I'm going to go 85.
Oh, 86.
Fuck.
That's a good guess for being the only one. Very good. All right, here's his little thing. Here are thine awards, my Lord Tucker, the wanker, second Earl of Wessex, Lord of the Furries, heir of Lord Bawley, the one-eyed steak wrestler, protector of freedom units, step sibling with funny feelings downstairs, entertainer of uncles.
Did you see what Jeff put in the Twitter group earlier? Well, it's not when it's hamburgers per bald eagle instead of kilometers per hour.
Yes. Americans will use anything to measure but the imperial or the metric system.
Happy 4th. That's not true because we've got 40 cal, we got 50 cal, we got 9mm.
It's very true. All right. It had a bunch of nominees.
7.62.
A bunch of nominees.
5.56. So we will use the metric system for bullets.
Occasionally. It was a nominee for the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films in 2005. BMI winner for the Best Music Award. Jupiter nominee. Teen Choice nominee. Undine Awards nominee, which is Austria. Visual Effects nominee for the Treasure Room. Let's see. World Stunt Awards. Best Overall Stunt by a Woman nominee. I don't think they won any of these, though. Young Artist Awards. I guess for Hunter Gomez. I think that's the boy in the front in the beginning of it. And he said, the last thing he sent was salutations from Sweden. Happy 4th of July to y'all. First time you saw the movie?
You know, I was thinking about that earlier, and I went to the movie theaters for
Did
this.
you really?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. Because here's the deal. Nicolas Cage, he's hit or miss. He either knocks it out of the damn park, like with Gone in 60 Seconds, with this.
Con
Air,
whatever.
Yeah, Con Air, or he makes something like The Weatherman. Like, he really doesn't have what I would call like a mid-level performance. Because like in Ghost Rider, that's another movie that he was in that people caught a lot of flack for, but
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly.
It wasn't his fault. It was the writing on that movie was shit.
So I'm actually watching a movie right now called Mandy, it's got Nicolas Cage in it. So here's a weird little connection. So I started watching this movie. You know, I'm still doing the Lovecraft thing.
Right.
So I watched this one movie called Beyond the Black Rainbow. It's a really weird sci-fi heavy it was filmed in 2008, very heavily influenced by like 80s sci-fi, you know, that kind of had that very feel to it. It was very fun. So that director also directed this movie called Mandy, which I've gotten into. Basically, it's Nicolas Cage and he has a girlfriend and she's like kidnapped by like a cult.
Yeah.
But there's a very supernatural element to it. Like they have to make a sacrifice for these monsters to come and kidnap her. It's really weird. The director is oh my God, I can't think of the guy's name. He's the son of the director of Tombstone.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, him.
God damn it. I know. I'm blanking out.
But anyways, he made, like, he did the first movie, the Beyond the Rainbow movie, or the Black Rainbow. He made that using the proceeds from all the royalties from Tombstone.
George P. Cosmatos.
Yes. That's the dad.
Yes.
And the son is, I can't remember the son's name. You can probably find it.
Yeah.
I thought about making y'all watch the Beyond the Black Rainbow. Like, it's really well done. It's very, very artistic and it's very stylized. But it's honestly, the pacing is real slow. And I just don't, like Trey would never finish it. There's no way he would finish it. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to finish it because I just get bored. But the Mandy movie's pretty good. It's moving along pretty well. But anyways, Nicolas Cage, you're right. He's pretty good in this one so far.
Yeah.
He hadn't gone crazy, but I think he goes pretty crazy in this. And then I saw another movie with Nicolas Cage that's very Lovecraftian called The Color Out of Space. It's actually a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's very like in the same vein of a lot of like 80s monster horror movies. Very much in that same vein. And I'm thinking about making y'all watch it because I really enjoyed it.
All right. Very
Lovecraftian, but a lot of fun. So anyways, Nicolas Cage. There you go. So you went to the theaters. I really don't remember. I think I rented it maybe. I don't know. It's been so long. It's just like it's always been there, you know? It's like I'll watch it if I see it on TV.
Well,
you know?
the reason I went to go see it in movie theaters is I do like a lot about history. I do read a lot of historical fiction, a lot of history books. It was arguably one of my best subjects when I was in college and growing up was history because I've always found it fascinating.
I completely agree.
So
I started out in engineering and I took a course called Technology and Civilization at Auburn, and it was one of my favorite courses I ever took because it was literally just about the technology and civilization. It's for engineers. I mean, that's what you want to learn about. It was the thing about history, and I always tell my daughter this. It's like history's easy. She's like, "Oh, it's so hard." No, it's not because history never changes. You know, it's all the same. Of course, Victors write the history book. So
this is true.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, let's go. And America wins, so we write the history books. America.
All right, here we go. The story centers on Benjamin Franklin Gates, an amateur cryptologist with a mechanical engineering degree from MIT and an American history degree from Georgetown, who comes from a long line of treasure hunters that believe in the legend of a fantastic treasure trove of artifacts and gold, hidden by the founding fathers of the United States, and forgotten to all but a few. The first clue was given to Ben's great-great-great-great-grandfather, Thomas Gates, by Charles Carroll, the last living signer of the Declaration of Independence, saying simply, "The secret lies with Charlotte." Using sophisticated computer Arctic weather models, Ben, with his friends Riley Poole and financier Ian Howe, find the wreckage of a colonial ship, the Charlotte, containing a meerchasm? M-E-E-R?
Meerschaum.
Oh, I see it now. Meerschaum pipe. Thank you. Engraved with a riddle. After examining the riddle, Ben deduces that the next clue is in the back of the Declaration of Independence. While Ben sees gaining access to such a highly guarded artifact as an obstacle, Ian finds no problem in stealing it. In the standoff, Ian escapes and the Charlotte explodes with Ben and Riley inside, nearly killing them.
So Ian is played by Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
And I'm watching this movie and
keep expecting him to die.
Well, Sean Bean does two things really well. He plays a good bad guy,
and he dies.
So the only movie I can ever, not even a movie, the only thing I can ever remember seeing him in where he was a good guy was Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah.
But he still died.
He still died. Yeah, he got his head cut off.
But the first time I ever
spoiler alert.
Right, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones.
That season 1 ends a little rough. It's not even season 1. It's like episode 3.
Yeah, it's like the third or fourth episode. Maybe not even that far. But I was watching this, and I was thinking today, Sean Bean, the first movie I remember seeing him in was GoldenEye. He was the bad guy, Alec Trevelyan.
Oh, yeah. That's
Bond's
right.
Nemesis.
Yep, you're right. 006, right? If I remember correctly. Or 8.
I think it was 8.
Might have been 8.
But
I'd be 008 and a half.
Centimeters.
That's not the point here.
But I was looking.
003 and 3 and a quarter.
Watching him in this movie, and GoldenEye came out in 94, 95. He really has not changed that much in any of his movies since.
Even up to Game of Thrones, which was still 10 years ago that it started. I would say.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was early 2010s.
Wow, weird to think about.
I know, right?
I'll say this: like one of the things that how he deduces, like when he gets the pipe and the whole like the riddle and everything, and how he deduces these things is obviously movie magic because I mean it's just so.
That's so quick.
Yeah, and I can't even remember what the riddle was, but I'm just sitting there going like, "There's no way you'd come up with this stuff. Like, how do you even know all this crap?"
So I think a lot of that is his knowledge of American history.
Yeah,
but. And that's one of the things I do want to point out about this movie. Yes, it is a conspiracy film. It's an action film. I guess you even want to go with a mystery film. but the historical basis of it is actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I was looking that up today, and there's a lot of things they got right.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten to the Silas Dogood letters yet, but Benjamin Franklin did actually write those.
And a lot of the founding fathers were Masons.
Yeah, Timothy Matlack was actually helped scribe the Declaration of Independence.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course, now they made a connection at one point, and I can't remember exactly where it was. That they said that the Knights Templar became the Masons, which is not true.
Yeah, they kind of ran along parallel lines, if I remember correctly.
No, Templars were like the 1100s. They protected Crusaders.
That's right.
And then the Masons started in like, I think some of the earliest mentionings were like the 1400s. So you're talking a difference of a couple hundred years. And they started out, they were Masons. I mean, they were, builders.
But so here's some other.
But they developed into a secret society.
Here's some other things they got correct. The Declaration is actually protected by bulletproof glass, and it is actually lowered into a
vault
bunker that is built to withstand an atomic bomb.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So they got a lot of shit right.
Yeah.
As far as like the background stuff of this movie, which I thought was really cool. That shows that the writers and everybody put a lot of work into making something that not only is historically accurate. A lot anyway. Well, I mean, they took some liberties, of course, but making something that's historically accurate and making it fun and entertaining. And I did read one of the writers said in an interview the reason they came up with they wrote the script the way they did was to get kids interested in history.
That's fair.
So I think they did.
I'm sitting here watching it, going like, man, I want to go back to DC and like see some of the sites.
Right.
I've never really wanted to go to Philadelphia, except now I kind of want to go to the Liberty.
When we get there, when we get to that scene, I got a little story about Philadelphia I want to tell you.
Is it about West Philadelphia, being born and raised?
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
The only other thing I'll say before we move on, they kind of turned on each other really quickly. Like there was not really a discussion like, hey, let's see if we can study it. Like, and then he's like, well, I'll just steal it. It's like, wouldn't you talk it out a little bit more than immediately pulling a gun on him?
In the purpose of moving, in real life, yeah, probably, but in the purpose of moving the plot along, yeah.
Just saying, it was a quick turn.
It is, but they kind of address that later on in the movie when they're like, oh, and that's where we lost the FBI, and that's where we lost Homeland Security. Who the fuck is going to believe that there is an invisible map on the back of the Declaration of Independence?
It's fair. I like that. I think I remember even reading somewhere where they came out after this movie and they were like, we've tested the whole document. There is not actually an invisible map on the back of the Declaration of Independence. So, all right, here we go. Moving on. All right. So, Ben and Riley attempt to warn the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and Dr. Abigail Chase at the National Archives, but no one takes them seriously, believing it to be too heavily guarded to be under any threat. This is the Declaration of Independence. Yep. Ben thinks otherwise, however, and decides to steal it to keep it from Ian. Ben and Riley manage to steal the Declaration during a 70-year anniversary gala, just before Ian arrives. Dr. Chase, who is holding a replica, is kidnapped by Ian, who thinks she has the real one, and Ben has to engage in a car chase to rescue her. As she will not leave without the Declaration, and Ben will not let her leave with it, she is forced to go along with them. Okay,
so let's talk about Diane Kruger for a second. Mm-hmm. Is it just me, or is she weirdly hot? Like her face there's something that's just a little bit off, but she's still very hot.
She's definitely attractive for sure. I think she looks better in this one than she did in the second one. I mean, not to comment on her looks, but my opinion.
She's
I did notice. I never noticed this before, and I caught something and I looked it up. She said when he first meets her, he says something about her accent.
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Which she then corrects him as German.
Yep.
I'd never even noticed her accent before, and I heard it the whole time now. And she actually, the actress Diane Kruger, is German.
Yep.
I did not know that.
She cusses in German.
Yeah, she does. I don't know. I guess I just missed it before. I've never really noticed the accent, but it really stood out to me this time.
She cusses in German. She says, and I think the reason they did that was for the, wasn't this PG or PG-13?
Yeah, PG. This PG is Disney.
Yeah. But she says "verdammt," which is "God damn it" in German.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I think they did that for a rating or for the ratings thing.
I like the bit when he's in the National Archives and he's got the Declaration and she's like, "Are you trying to steal that?" It's a priceless artifact and he's got to pay $35.
Which that's actually not true. They're actually only $10 at the National at the.
35 seemed a little high.
Yeah, they're only $10.
Did you actually look that up?
I did actually look that up.
Jesus, did a lot of research on this one today.
I did.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. They are full size replicas, but
I've never seen it. Have you ever seen it?
not in person. But I've talked to a couple of people that have.
It's big.
It is pretty big, but when you look at it in the movie, that's not actually accurate. It's a lot more faded. Like you can't really read anything on it anymore.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 200 something years, 250 years old almost.
More than that.
1776.
1976 was 200 years.
2026 would be 250.
2026, yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost 250 years old.
Piece. Here's the thing that I thought was funny, and this kind of goes throughout the movie. Like when they steal it, he's wearing the gloves, and when they start to do the lemon on the backside,
yep.
Gloves, they're in a cleaner. But then as the movie goes on, they just start pulling out, just touching it with their hands.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that thing would just fall apart. There's no way it would.
Well, it is
withstand.
actually, it's paper, but it's also mixed with like animal hide. So
is it really?
Yeah. Research.
Jesus. Well done, sir.
You're welcome.
I just watched it.
God, I'm gonna give it away. I really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Ben and Riley agree that the only place to hide from the police would be Ben's father's house. Despite his father's disbelief in the treasure, Ben manages to reveal an Ottendorf cipher on the back of the declaration, referring to characters in the silenced do-good letters. The coded message in the letters leads them to Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where they find special bifocals invented by, well, this says Benjamin Franklin Gates.
It's probably supposed to be
Benjamin Franklin, comma, Gates. I don't know, whatever. It is supposed to be Benjamin.
Yeah.
That guy. Inside of a brick from the building. Ben examines the back of the declaration with the glasses and finds another clue. After a short chase, Ian gets the declaration from Riley and Abigail, and the FBI arrests Ben, who has the glasses. When the FBI attempts to use Ben as bait to get the declaration back, Ian arranges to have him escape by jumping from the deck of the USS Intrepid into the Hudson River, a feat not too difficult for Ben as a graduate of the Navy Diving and Salvage Training Center. Using Ben's father, Riley and Abigail as leverage, Ian forces Ben to interpret the clue on the back of the declaration, a reference to a secret chamber under the Trinity Church in New York City. When they arrive at a seemingly dead end, Ben's father makes up another clue to keep Ian going, telling him a lantern is the clue to the Old North Church in Boston, referencing Paul Revere's ride. Ian goes to Boston with his men, leaving everyone else to die in the caverns. Pretty smart.
Damn, we have blown through this movie.
Yeah, we kind of have. Sorry.
That's fine. So, Jesus. John Voight's character in this movie is... His acting was great. I love his character. I love him in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He's made some shitty movies. I mean, he was in Anaconda, for God's sake.
So was Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. And Ella... No.
Yeah, I think he was.
No, not Ella Cool J. It was Ice Cube.
Was it Ice Cube?
It was Ice Cube.
I took a girl to see that movie. Like I went on a date
to see Anaconda.
To see Anaconda in the movie theaters.
Ugh.
It was like 6th grade.
Did you tell her you had a snake that was bigger?
I was in 6th grade, so no. I'm not Trey.
That's fair.
No finger blasting occurred. Not that I remember, at least.
So, let's see. When they go knock on the door and the dad's like, and John Voight's like, is she pregnant? It was the way he delivered that line. And a lot of his lines, it's just, he's comic gold. And he doesn't even intend to be at times, I think.
He plays it very straight.
Yeah.
He's always the straight guy.
Okay, so a couple things about the scenes in Philadelphia, especially Independence Hall. When he gets out on the roof and he takes his knife out, that's not going to happen. They have magnometers at Independence Hall. Mm-hmm. You can't get weapons in. They're metal detectors.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to use his knife to scrape out the mortar around the brick and find the glasses.
Which would be hard enough anyways.
Which would be hard enough anyway. But it just, you'd have to be a lazy ass on the metal detector not to
catch the knife.
But that scene where where Abigail and Riley are running through the market. Okay, so I've actually been to Philadelphia, and 2011, I think.
Huh, okay.
And I've actually been in that market, and I'm walking around it, looking around, going, this looks familiar, and I don't know why. So I'm looking around, and I don't know why, but I overheard, I saw something or overheard somebody say something. I was like, holy shit, this is from National Treasure. So I talked to some of the people that had shops, because it's just a huge open area where there are booths and kiosks, and it's everything, man.
Yeah.
You might have produce here, and then meat here, and then fucking knockoff purses right next to that.
Yeah.
It's just hundreds of different things. So I'm talking to one of the people that works there, and I'm like, this is where National Treasure was filmed. They're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, this is really cool. I like that movie. And they were like, yeah, they wanted to film in here for a scene, and they shut us down for 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah. But they got paid like a motherfucker because every one of those shop owners, and there's literally hundreds in there, got paid at least $30,000 for them to film in there for 3 days because they couldn't run businesses.
Yeah.
So that was their compensation, was a minimum of $30,000.
Wow. No wonder. I mean, $100 million, I guess, goes pretty far away.
It does.
Good Lord. Again, the whole like back of the independence thing, and it goes back to, I mean, obviously you have someone whose great grandfather has been trying to search for this thing for 200 years, but it's just how he figures out the stuff. It's just so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it just like comes to him, and it obviously for pacing for a movie, it makes more sense. But here I realized that like I'm sitting there, I'm watching the movie with Ashley, and I'm trying to take notes on it, but it's just like, it's one of these movies where like there's not, it's very surface. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of depth to it. I mean, it's cool. It's great. You're right. It's great about the history and everything, but it's like, you kind of just.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
There's not.
This is not a deep artistic movie.
Right.
So I feel bad because I didn't take a whole lot of notes except for like, I've got one here about like, okay, here's something that happened. Like when they go in to steal the Declaration, and I see this movies all the times, and I would wonder if it actually pisses you off because it bothers me. Ian shoots one of the guards with a taser,
right,
and the guard passes out or collapses, which is not what happens.
Not typically. So those devices they short circuit your body.
Yeah,
and it's a form of pain compliance. You can pass out from a taser, but it's not going to last a long time. Yeah. And you're going to have to get shocked multiple times before your body reaches that point of just going, you know what, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah. But it doesn't just knock you out. No. That's not what a taser does. I mean, it locks you up and you fall over. Yeah. If you get shot with the prongs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even if they do the other way where they like attach one to your shirt and one to your boot.
Yeah. That'll still lock you up.
It'll still lock you up, and somebody has to hold on to you.
Yeah.
So, side note to anyone that listens to our podcast, if you ever get bored and want to look at something funny as shit, get on YouTube and look up Taser Wookie. I'm serious. Look up Taser Wookie.
I've never done this, but okay. I can share a story about our mutual friend Mitchell when he got taser trained.
Nice name drop.
Yeah, you like that?
I do.
Have you heard that story from when he got?
I have.
Okay, so it's funny because like Mitchell's a good guy, he's a cop, and he got taser trained, and so you have two options. They can, like Tucker said, they can attach it to your belt and your boot, and they just click it, and you get shocked, or you can what they call ride the bull.
It's a 5-second ride either way.
Yeah, but where they actually shoot you with it, like the pressurized air, it pops the things out, and you get impaled.
Well, and for people that don't know, I mean, it's basically a tiny treble hook or fish hook.
Yeah.
And it embeds itself in your skin. That's why tasers aren't effective against people that are wearing thick clothing, because it doesn't make that skin connection.
Right. So anyways, he was in line to go, and so the guy in front of him, when he got shot, he locked up, but apparently he didn't exhale. And so when he got shot, he went, fuck! And Mitchell was like, I don't want to make that sound. So he said, right when the guy was yelling, taser, 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 he goes, and then got shot and just went, and fell over. But the funny thing is, after he got trained, I can tell the story. He came, I went over to my old apartment, and he was over there visiting, had his taser on him. And I was like, I was looking at it, whatever. And he's like, here. And so he broke off the part that shoots out.
The cartridge.
It's just the little two prongs. Mm-hmm. And he goes, here, let's do this. And so he put it on my forearm, and he goes, taser, taser, taser. And I was sitting there going, why is he saying taser? And then he pulled the trigger.
Yeah, he dry stunned you.
It did not feel good.
No shit.
I was like, as soon as he hit it, I went, ugh!
So I'm not going to use names here for
Legal purposes?
Yeah, because, I'm just not going to use names. So the laws on using a taser have changed a lot over the years, and when you can and can't use a taser on somebody has gotten more clarified by the court system over the years. So before all the clarification came out, people were getting tased left and right all the damn time. I know a deputy that tased a guy in handcuffs because he tried to kick out the window of the patrol car.
Oof. Not cool.
Yeah. So that happened. And the officer that was on scene said, fuck this, I am not backing you up because I am not going to be part of this lawsuit.
Oh, that is rough. Good call on that guy's part.
So, yeah.
Oof.
Fun times.
Jesus.
There's always liability.
I don't know, man. That's, anyways. All right. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think. Well, and the other thing.
I don't even think that person works for that law enforcement agency anymore, so it's probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing. Even if there were, a Met or a gala going on or whatever, there's still no way that whole floor where the declaration would be completely empty like that.
Yeah, probably not. But the way he got down there using the
glass,
the wine flute or the champagne flute, he used super glue and iodine. Did you catch that?
I didn't know what the other stuff. I saw the super glue, but I didn't know.
Super glue and iodine, and that will actually work.
Really?
Yeah, but not that fast. I mean, it takes hours.
Oh, really?
It's like a 5 or 6 hour process. But the science behind it is there. They just sped it up. The movie.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
they did a lot of stuff to make this movie accurate. It's just
not realistic.
Yeah,
it'd be a 5-hour long movie watching.
It's a lot like MacGyver episodes. You watched MacGyver.
Come on,
because a lot of the stuff they did in the movie, the science is
guy
there
had
for
a killer fucking mullet.
Oh fuck yeah, he did. That's actually the reason I wanted a mullet growing up, because I loved that show. But a lot of the stuff he did in that show was theoretically possible, and the science backed it up, but
just not in the time
frame or with the. In the constraints that he was in.
Total side note: did you see the guy yesterday at the lake when we were doing the rope swing that had the mullet?
I think so.
There is this dude up there, man. He had a mustache, big mullet, dark haired, and then when he did it, he did a backflip. He went off twice. He did a backflip both times. And I was over there with Haley's brother-in-law. Yeah, brother-in-law.
Step
brother-in-law. Whatever. Step brother. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that guy, he looks like he knows how to party, man. Apparently he had a bunch of tattoos, and one of them on his leg. I didn't never see it, but the brother-in-law said he had a Beavis and Butthead tattoo.
Oh, Jesus.
On like one of his legs.
So the scene on the...
I said I was surprised he's not doing this with a Busch Light and a Marlboro Red hanging out of his mouth.
Okay, first of all...
Hell yeah, brother.
First of all, it would have been an old Milwaukee. It wouldn't have been a Busch.
Whatever.
It's too high class.
It might have been Natty.
Hey, don't pick on the Natty. Natty and PBR is not terrible. They're not the worst things on a hot day.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. I can never drink Natty from a can because that's what my dad drank growing up. I can remember him, like, the vision of my dad is him sitting in our recliner watching a war documentary drinking Natty Lights. And so every once in a while I'd be like, Dad, can I have a sip? And he'd be like, sure. And I'd take a sip and I'd be like, ugh, beer's gross. And so when I became an adult and started drinking beer, I to this day cannot drink Natty Light out of a can. I can do it out of a keg. I can do it into a red Solo cup, but I cannot drink Natty Light out of a can.
That's fair.
It just there's just something I've got a deep ingrained hatred for it.
I don't like beer out of a can anyway.
That's fair.
It just that metallic taste. And it's weird. I'll drink Cokes out of a can, but I won't drink beer out of a can. I don't know. I'm weird.
Coke out of a can is different. It's kind of like Coke out of a glass bottle is the best Coke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the scene on the USS Intrepid, when he goes to the observation deck and jumps over, that is the fucking Hudson River.
Ugh.
Right?
I did. It was funny because they I don't know if they actually did that, but I mean, you could tell they animated stuff just like floating around in it.
Oh, I doubt that. Ugh. I fucking doubt
that. I'm saying the part with Nicolas Cage, I doubt Nicolas Cage actually got in the Hudson River.
Yeah, that's true. That is a disgusting ass river by ever. Now, I've never seen it, don't know anything about it, but everything I've ever read,
I've ever heard about
it,
yep.
that is a disgusting ass river.
Yeah.
And whoever jumped off that flight deck, because some stuntman did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He had to get some of that shit in his nose and mouth.
Oh. Dude, from that high, you got a Hudson River enema.
Ugh. Ugh.
I got a bit of
Jesus!
I got a bit of a Lake Martin one yesterday going off the rope swing. Or no,
So,
I guess
have you ever jumped off a chimney rock?
Yes.
The tall one.
Yes.
Okay.
Same as you. One time in college.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was
that looked
stupid.
like it would be comparable in height.
How high off the water is a
flight deck?
Aircraft carrier flight deck?
I have no clue. We
Google
can look it up. All
yeah.
right. But I'm looking at that going,
I've
jumped off some tall shit.
Yeah, that's a long jump. The only thing that would make me feel better about that is just knowing that there's probably some divers in the water waiting on me. Because that'd be a long fall.
All right, so I'm Googling how tall is an aircraft carrier flight deck. Okay, so it says depending on its aircraft load, it could sit as high as 60 feet above the waterline.
It's not that. I mean, that's
60 feet. That's actually lower than Chimney Rock, isn't it? Holy shit.
Did you hear that thunder?
I did hear that.
I don't know how high Chimney Rock is.
I hear various things. I hear people say anywhere from like 65 to 90, and it doesn't look 90 to me.
No.
I'm going to go with it's somewhere between 70 and 75 just by looking at it. Either way, when you're standing up there looking down,
it seems a long way.
And it's weird jumping off from something that tall, which I don't have a lot of frame of reference for
No.
because I went skydiving one time and I'll never fucking do that again either.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
I went tandem. It was bucket list item. I wanted to do it. Did the one down in
Columbus?
No, Tuskegee.
Okay.
And I want to say we got up to like 50. Shit, I think it was like it's one time, and this was 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it's like 15,000 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty high up.
And they opened that sliding door at the plane, and I'm looking down, and you can't even see roads at that height.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you see lines.
Yeah.
And I'm looking down, going, and I'm literally strapped to some guy's. He's nuts to butt with me, okay? Like, I'm strapped to this guy, and he goes, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then he pushes me out, and we go, and we free fell for it. It felt like 10 minutes, and I know I yelled "fuck" the entire time.
God. I've gone back and forth on if I'd ever want to do that. And I mean, considering how much I used to rock climb and how high I would go and stuff like that, like I just don't know if I could do it though. I don't think I could do it now just because, I've got a family at home and I just.
Well, it's one of those things. Skydiving accidents don't happen that often.
No.
But when they do, you don't really walk away from it.
No. It's not
like,
a good
it's not
thing.
like a fender bender because somebody runs a red light.
Yeah. I just don't know if my heart would take it at this point now.
Because I think I'd have to go back and double check this, but I read somewhere that terminal velocity for a falling human is like 100. It's high 120s mile per hour.
Yeah. It's what is it? 10 point something
feet
per second.
It's 32 feet per second, and then
Yeah.
it's like 9.8 meters per second squared or something like that. It's been a while since I've had physics.
It's really fucking fast.
Yeah.
It's really fast.
Either way, after like 10 seconds, you're at terminal velocity. And when those chutes pop, you're falling at 100 I'm going to call it 125 because I can't remember the speed, but you're falling at 125 miles per hour, and it slows you down to like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of strain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny to think about, like, I don't think you obviously have, but I don't know if I've ever experienced terminal velocity because you have to have that time. Like, I've jumped off cliffs, I've jumped off bridges, I've rope swings. I've done indoor skydiving when I was like 13 years old, but I mean, that's not really the same thing. You're not really falling. So I've never experienced terminal velocity, but I have a feeling it would be terrible.
It's okay. So takes you about 12 seconds to achieve terminal velocity.
Good guess.
And it's approximately 120 miles per hour. So I did get that right.
It makes my butthole clench just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was pooping spaghetti strands for 2 days after that.
That is way more descriptive than I wanted it to be.
It's radio. Or podcast.
Oh, God.
You're welcome.
Jesus.
Anyway, the whole point of this is, can you imagine jumping off the flight deck of an aircraft carrier?
That'd be awesome. I think I'd actually rather do that than like...
Off a chimney rock?
Yeah. Because I know people have died jumping off a chimney rock.
Fair. So did I ever tell you about my buddy he's in the Navy? He's stationed on an aircraft carrier. They have, when they're out doing their patrols or whatever, they'll have it's basically like an open swim. They'll lower the back hatch of the there's a hatch on the back, from what he tells me, and it's either on the back or the side of the aircraft carrier, and they'll put guys out there in little Zodiac boats with rifles for shark watch, and people on the ship that aren't working get to jump off and swim.
Like in the middle of the ocean.
Like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
I think I would do it.
That would be terrifying. Like literally being over thousands of feet of water and you can't see it.
Yeah.
And the shark watch. And like, I want to go dive with sharks.
Oh, there's a picture of it right there. I just Googled it.
What the fuck?
Dude, they're on a fucking aircraft carrier for 6 months.
Don't they have a pool or something?
Google aircraft carrier open swim.
I'm gonna ask Trollinger
about it. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell you about it, but he told me they put guys out there, like they're guys on the deck, and then there are guys out in boats, and it's safety stuff, but they're armed with rifles for shark watch.
Do they ever have to, what do they, just shoot the shark?
I'm assuming, but if you ever watch Mythbusters, you know that it's not going to go more than about 3 feet before the bullet breaks up.
It's true. Of course, that would be kind of cool. I wonder if they shot it, if you could catch it and bring it in, have some shark fin soup, even though that's highly unethical. And then shark steaks.
I think that if your buddy's about to get eaten by Jaws, that you'd get a pass on that.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Is this not charging? Sorry, my iPad's about to die, and I brought your charger down here, and it's not. Oh, there it goes. Now it's charging.
Okay. But yeah, I think you would get a pass on that, especially when you're out there in like ocean waters. And by the way, huge shark nerd here, because you're going to be dealing with like mako sharks out there, and those are not anywhere close to being endangered. Because great whites typically aren't going to be out there in
open water like that. They're going to be like around the continent. Now they will go deep, but they'll be more like coastal waters. Yeah, that's a little freaky. I don't know if I'd want to know. Again, I've watched too many, like, I've seen The Abyss and, like, all these Lovecraft movies, and, there's what's the one? There's one that just came out a little while ago. It's actually also a really good movie. Very, very good Lovecraft, but it was a good, just scary movie, was, oh my God, it's got Kristen Stewart in it from Sparkly Vampires. And then,
she's so terrible.
She's actually not bad in this one, but it's just, they're in a deep underwater drilling thing, and then they of course awaken a monster. It's actually a really good movie. So anything else you want to add to the going back to him jumping off, FBI arrests, the Intrepid?
You've talked about them getting to Wall Street, right?
That's at the very end.
Okay.
Because that's where they were. That's where he met up with them, was on Wall Street,
Trinity Church.
Yeah, so they go down to Wall Street, and that's when again, smart thing on John Voight's, Gates' dad, talking about going to Boston, the single lantern. Mm-hmm. Smart move there.
So, and that's actually the Broadway actually used to be called to here.
Yeah.
So another thing that they got right. They got a shitload right.
And Wall Street used to have a big old wall on it.
They embellished the shit out of it, but they got a lot of stuff right.
Did you remember Paul Revere? How many lanterns actually were?
It was one if by land, two if it was two.
Yeah, it was two. Yeah. 2 by sea.
Yep, 2 if by sea.
It's crazy that was like, that actually did really happen. It's not just some urban legend myth. But
what's crazy about that? when you think about our founding fathers, and you think about guys like Paul Revere and Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Carroll, which real guy by the way, or Charles Carroll, sorry.
Yeah.
When they signed that Declaration of Independence, when that damn thing was signed, they were early 20s.
Yeah.
They were young.
Yeah. It's not, they were all wearing white wigs, but
right. You look
part of the style.
And think they're, middle-aged guys, our age or potentially even older. But no, these guys are 20, 21, 22.
Well, and it's like Gates said when he toasted them with the champagne, treason. What they did was treasonous. If they had lost the war,
they were dead.
They were all dead. It's kind of crazy to think about how far we've come from there. Pretty decent job, I think. We've had some low points, and I think we're getting better though. Hopefully,
I think so.
Okay. Okay, after Ian leaves, Ben reveals there is another exit that must be through the treasure room. They find a secret passage to another chamber, and to their disappointment, they find it empty, and assume that the treasure was already moved. However, they realize a secondary exit must have been created in case of cave-ins. Ben examines the walls of the room and finds a hole for the shape of the pipe from the Charlotte. This lock opens the door to the treasure room.
Which was a real ship, by the way, that got lost at sea.
The Charlotte?
The Charlotte was
Really?
real. Yep.
Nice.
It was a prison, basically like a prison transport ship.
Huh. Mm-hmm. But we don't know if there was a weird shaped pipe on there.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's ever been found. Research.
Have we gone looking in the Arctic yet? This lock opens the door to the true treasure room containing artifacts from all periods of history. When they leave through the second exit and the FBI arrives, Ben discovers that the chief investigator, Special Agent Peter Sadusky, is a Freemason. Ben proposes to give the treasure to the various museums around the world, with credit being given to the entire Gates family and Riley, with Dr. Trace not being penalized for the theft of the Declaration. However, Sadusky says someone has to go to prison for the theft of the Declaration, so they fly to Boston, where Ian and his men are breaking the lock to get entry to the Old North Church. FBI agents emerge from the hiding and arrest them under charges of kidnapping, attempted murder, and trespassing on government property. The U.S. government offers Ben and his friends 10% of the treasure, but Ben only takes 1% and splits it with Riley. With his share, Ben and Abigail buy a mansion once owned by the man known as Charles Carroll, and Riley buys a Ferrari 360 Spider. The film ends with Abigail giving Ben a map, and then when he curiously asks what it leads to, she just smiles a suggestive grin.
What do you think the map was a map to?
Her butt's holes.
The third hole.
Oh, man.
So one guy that we didn't talk about hardly at all in this is Riley, played by Justin Bartha.
Yeah.
I have not seen him in a whole lot, but his comedic timing throughout this entire movie
Fantastic.
is fantastic.
Perfect. He's really... the only other movie that I've seen him in that I can, like, offhand, The Hangover. He's the one that got caught on the roof.
Yeah, that is him, isn't it?
Yeah. He's the one that goes missing, and they find him on the roof.
I forgot about that. That's right. But yeah, his
I don't even... Was he in the
line
second
delivery,
one? I don't even remember if he was in the second one.
His line delivery and comedic timing was just... God, man.
Perfect.
Perfect. I know something about history that you don't. This must be how you feel all the time.
Let me just soak this in.
It was great. Like I said, it was great.
He was really good. I completely agree with you on that.
And I didn't realize that was Harvey Keitel as the FBI agent.
Yep.
For a long time.
I think they also did, I mean, like, granted, there's not a lot of quote-unquote character development because you don't really know that much about the characters. It's all about the action that's going on.
It's all about the setting.
But I'll say this. What's the girl's name?
Diane Kruger.
Yeah, they did a good job writing her, like, slowly falling in love with him.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can tell that, like, the way they interact with each other as the movie progresses.
Just, she's not as agitated towards him and, more complimentary and kind of getting into the whole thing. I guess it really started...
Well, she's curious.
Yeah.
He piqued her curiosity.
Yeah. Especially, it all started when that cipher showed up on the back of the Declaration of Independence. That's when she was like in. So kind of turned.
She was 100% in at that point. You know, she's like dating Norman Reedus, right? From like Walking Dead, Norman Reedus.
Engaged.
Or engaged.
I read that they were engaged. They got engaged last year. So congratulations to them. I know they'll listen to this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
Norman's a good fan of ours. Thanks, Norman.
I mean, his performance in Boondock Saints could have been a little bit better. Right, Haley?
She is going to come for you so hard. I'm going to laugh. Oh, man. Let's see. There's something I wrote this down. I don't know why. Why would they, if they were in Philly, why would he then have him meet him in New York City? I guess because that's where the church was.
Yeah, that's where that's the church and the USS Intrepid, the Wall Street, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool thing about this, they're not that far apart.
No, what was it? No, that's what it was. I was trying to, because when Ian called him for him to meet, he was in Philly. I just didn't understand. I don't know. I guess because...
Well, they had to go to New York.
Yeah, they needed to go to New York for that one.
Because I've driven through both of those.
Yeah. I think I drove through Philly, but I know I've driven... Well, I drove by New York City. We're driving to Boston.
Well, that's 13 hours. I'm not wanting to do that. I want to go...
I was impressed with the torches though in the chamber where they were going down with all the stairs. That after 200 years they still held a flame like that.
Right.
Did pretty good.
New York. To
Did you ever play Skyrim on Xbox?
Yeah. 2 hours.
That's not
max.
bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
So it's not too far.
I think it's funny you go in these caves that have supposedly been abandoned for however hundreds of years, but they still have torches in them that are lit in Skyrim at least.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of those funny things.
I did play Skyrim. That was fun.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
I hadn't played it in forever.
We didn't talk about this either. The scene where they're going down the stairs and that little action scene.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in their shoes and you come across this
rickety
ass staircase that no one has been on in 200 years, 200 plus, but there's, I don't know, who knows what that treasure would really be worth.
He said something. I thought he said something in the movie that would be worth, like early on, that would be worth like $10 billion or something like that.
He made a bribe to the FBI agent towards the end of the movie. That's what it was.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. But I mean, even then,
was it 10 billion or 100 billion?
10, I think.
Okay,
pretty sure it's 10. But to me, that's one of those things. You know where it is.
Yeah.
You're going to get a finder's fee for it. Why don't you go? I don't know. Go get some safety equipment so you can belay or harness or something.
That's fair. Just rappel down, instead of having to go on that rickety ass bridge. Yeah. And you'd think Ian, with his unlimited resources, could get one of his henchmen to go get some ropes and carabiners.
Yeah, and it's New York, so there's going to be a rock climbing place nearby. Hey, I need, 8 harnesses, bunch of rope, all the carabiners, everything. When you just give it, here's
a sack of money.
Here's the Amex. Yeah, call it back.
I completely agree. And I mean, the only other thing,
because even then, even if you walk down the stairs, you're still clipped. You're still
you could clip in.
Not gonna die.
Yeah, like what's his face did.
Yeah,
dude that fell.
Yeah, Shaw.
Yeah. I mean, that and like I don't know. I don't know because I'm sitting there going like, he's just his dad who goes first is just walking. It's like, dude, you gotta do one of these like
test where you're
stepping and don't just step, like test it, make sure it's not going to fall out from under you. I don't know. That'd be pretty scary. That'd be pretty terrifying. But I agree with you. I don't know why don't you just grab some rope and I think I'd rather stay on the stairs than the dumbwaiter they ended up on.
Yeah, but again, all of that could have been avoided because even if you're walking down the stairs instead of rappelling or taking the dumbwaiter and the damn thing breaks, you got 5 guys behind you that are pulling your ass back up.
Yeah, that's.
It's just things that you don't think of it when you're watching the movie, and I really didn't think of it until after the movie was over. But I was like,
it's actually I didn't think about that before. Also, it's a good thought.
But you wouldn't have wasted that much time going and getting stuff.
No. I mean, I understand you want to move forward on it, but yeah, that's just. Trying to think if there's anything else. I read somewhere, it might have just been in the trivia that I didn't add to this, that it was like they split, it was like a couple $100 million if they only got 1% of it. But if they had taken the 10%, it would have been like over $1 billion.
Would you have taken 1% or would you have taken 10%?
10% all day. Are you fucking kidding me? I'd push for 15. I mean, what's a normal finder's fee?
I think they said a normal finder's fee was 10.
Fine, I'll take 10% of 10 billion. Fuck yes. It's too much. No, it's not. Look, I understand that money doesn't buy happiness, but I have never seen someone sad on a Ski-Doo.
That's a very good point.
And Cobalts are expensive boats. And that lake house ain't going to buy itself.
No, but you talked about what you do for it.
That's true. That one specifically. Sorry, that's some inside baseball right there. All right, moving on. Okay, so we'll do top five.
Let's just say Steven will be shitting pancakes.
Top 5 trivia, triple indie review and rating. All right, top 5 trivia. Here we go. Again, Marcus, thank you for this. On the back of the $100 bill, there is an etching of Independence Hall, and the time on the clock tower does read 2:22. The clock on the back of an early 2000s $100 bill is officially documented as reading 4:10 now, though it does look more like the hour hand is pointing to the 2, suggesting a time of 2:22. When the $100 bill was redesigned in 2009, the time was changed to 1030. This new bill entered circulation in 2013. There is no evidence as to either of these times were chosen for a specific reason. Number 2, Independence Hall was not harmed in the making of this movie. Many scenes at the Philadelphia were shot on location, but such landmarks as the Reading Terminal Market and Franklin Institute. But one notable exception is actually Independence Hall. Rather than filming in the real building, a National Historical Park, the filmmakers substituted a brick-for-brick replica of Independence Hall at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. Walter Knott had a love for American history, and his replica, which was constructed between 1964 and 1966, was based on historical records, photographs, and blueprints of the exact measurements. So there was no need for Nicolas Cage to run around a real national treasure when an exact replica existed. Number 3, the House of Pass and Stow. The bell, now known as the Liberty Bell, was commissioned from the London firm of Lester and Pack. It arrived in Philadelphia in 1752. It is so crazy that they could do shit like that back then. I mean, they didn't have pneumatic guns or the guns like chisels or
it was all
power drills,
hand forged.
Crazy. But when the bell was struck to test the sound, the rim cracked. Authorities tried in vain to return the bell, but local founders John Pass and John Stow offered to recast it. Their first attempt didn't break when struck, but the sound was disappointing. So Pass and Stow recast the bell again, and was finally installed into the bell tower of the Pennsylvania State House, Independence Hall, in June of 1753. As Ian discovers, the Liberty Bell no longer hangs in Independence Hall. It has its own pavilion across the street at the Liberty Bell Center, which opened to the public in 2003. Number 4, the final expansion of the crack in the Liberty Bell occurred on George Washington's birthday in 1846. And the Centennial Bell replaced the Liberty Bell in 1876. According to the National Park Service, the final expansion of the crack occurred in 1846, and the widening was actually an attempt to prevent further cracking and restore the bell's tone. By order of the mayor, the bell rang in honor of Washington's birthday and cracked beyond repair. In anticipation of the centennial in 1876, a different bell was produced from 4 melted down Revolutionary and Civil War cannons, which is pretty cool. The Centennial Bell was part of the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia, later recast to improve the tone and hung in the bell tower of Independence Hall, where it remains today. This engraving from, that's just whatever, sorry. And number 5, the Broadway street was called Here Street by the Dutch. Originally, I'm not even going to try this word.
Let's see.
That one with the W? It's obviously the original indigenous people that lived there. Go for it.
Hey, Marcus, send us a pronunciation for this. It's Wix. I don't know.
Yeah, Wickwasagect. I don't know, man. Yeah, that one.
And Marcus is going to tell us how bad we fucked this up.
Dutch settlers renamed the route traversing Manhattan Island from south to north De Heerstraat, which means Gentleman Street. Much of modern-day Broadway follows these original roads. There you go. All right, Triple Lindy.
The Triple Lindy. Triple Lindy.
Is that hard?
It's impossible.
Well, I do want to throw in one more piece of trivia that you missed that's not anything of historical nature, but there is a third film in the works and also a series
TV show
coming to Disney+.
I didn't know about the film, but I saw the TV show because
it's kind of in development hell, but it's listed as being
pretty cool.
Pre-production.
That'd be interesting. I know the TV show has Riley in it. Mm-hmm. Does not have Nicolas Cage or
Diane Kruger.
Yeah. So, Triple Lindy. What are your thoughts on the Triple Lindy?
This movie is very far-fetched, and there's a lot of things that test the limits of believability as far as going through and stealing the Declaration of Independence and all this. So this is fairly minor in it, but when they're down in the National Archives or in the museum, whatever, and he's taking the Declaration trying to take it out of the frame, and he goes to get it in the elevator, and Ian and his guys show up. Mm-hmm. 2 things happen. Number 1, they shoot with the suppressors. I own a suppressor. They don't sound like that. Number 2, it hits him with enough force that it knocks him back into the elevator.
True.
That's bullshit.
Really?
It's physics. If I think it was Shaw that was shooting, if Shaw fired a gun that had enough force to knock Nicolas Cage back 3 feet, it would also not have enough force to knock him back 3 feet.
It's fair.
So that annoys. They do it in a lot of movies, and it just annoys the shit out of me.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah, it is. But it defies the laws of physics.
Fair. Mine is actually kind of along the same lines. It's just that, and kind of using that as a reference point, he's holding the Declaration of Independence. They shoot it 3 times, and they're pretty on. They never hit him.
Right.
He shot it multiple times. Even at one point during the chase scene in Philadelphia, he climbs up some scaffolding, and the guy takes one shot and hits the scaffold
next to him.
To him. That's an incredible shot to actually hit the scaffold and not, like, it'd be harder to hit the scaffold than it would be to not hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So my triple Indy is how bad of shots these guys are. Like, I know I'm not a great shot. That's fine, but I'm not that bad. Like, out of as many times I shot at him, I'd have hit him at least once. Just once, but I'd have gotten him at least once. That's my triple Indy.
That's fair.
All right. What's your rating and review, and we'll wrap up.
Well, we actually texted Chris and Trey, since Trey's got the Rona, and I don't know what's up with Chris.
I don't either.
But they both texted back and said this is a 2-beer movie for them. So, do you want to give your rating first? Or you want me to give mine?
You can go first.
So here's my thoughts on this movie. I like the mostly historical accuracy of it, and it's a fun movie. I think all the main characters give fairly strong performances. Sean Bean doesn't die. I mean,
that's worth a beer right there,
right? So
that's minus a beer right there.
Yeah. So it's a fun movie. It's not very deep, but it is very, very enjoyable, and I actually enjoyed the sequel. So for me, I think it's better than average. I think this is a beer and a half.
That's fair. Yeah, this is a great summer flick to watch. This is actually, I want to say, honestly, I think this is the first movie out of 70 plus episodes that we've done. I think this is the first movie Ashley's actually watched with me. Abby's watched movies with me, but Ashley has not.
That's fair.
And she watched this one with me. And she watched this, I know she watched this one and the sequel several weeks ago, and she watched it again.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's easy to watch. It's not deep. It's very surface level, but it's fun. I like the historical aspect of it. It makes you excited about being American, and I think that's okay.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm going to go with you and say 1.5. What you got?
So that brings us to a aggregate of 7
beers.
By 4. So 1.75 beer movie, which, that's along lines with the Google users. What they said, which, I mean, they're Google, blah, whatever. But
86.
So it's a good, fun movie.
Yeah.
And, you can let kids watch it. Like you wouldn't let Abby watch Terminator with you.
No.
But she could watch this.
She could have watched this. I know she probably has watched it with Ashley. That's fun. Yeah, 1.75 seems right. Well, that was fun.
Yep. Too bad Trey wasn't here, because I can only imagine some of his commentary for this movie.
It would have been great.
Yeah, right.
It would have been great. I miss some of the, that's why I like it when he's here, because I mean, as distracting as it can be, his quips can be kind of can derail us, but also take us in some interesting directions.
They can.
All right, so since we kind of usurped this week for National Treasure for 4th of July.
July 4th, yeah.
Trey was last, so I guess it'll be your pick. So do you have any thoughts on what you want to do next week?
I do. I actually was going to pick this last week, or for this week, but we didn't get to do it because of the 4th of July, whatever. Which I think this was a good choice for the 4th of July. But I'm going to do one of my favorite movies that I actually haven't watched in a couple of years. I'm going to say we're going to review The Skulls.
Cool. I've never seen it.
It's fair. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So The Skulls next week. Good to know. If you want to find us on the web, you can do so at theguysreview.simplecast.com. You can email me anything and I will read it poorly at theguysreviewpod@gmail.com. Instagram at theguysreviewpod. Twitter at @the_guysreview. And remember to like the tweet at the top of the page. We'll put you in the DM group. You can make fun of us in real time. Facebook.com/theguysreviewpod. Please subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast from. You got anything you want to add?
See you next week.
Cool. On behalf of Trucker, I am Steven, and this has been another episode of The Guys Review. See y'all later.
The name is Tucker, not Trucker.
I said Tucker.
No, you said Trucker.
Whatever, Trucker. Truck off.